Station.
What's up, y'all? Sorry, bro.
Station.
I scanned you. Which one, Robbie?
Oh, the other one. That way you can see my gray skull. Thank you.
Man, great to be here, man, for week 2 of Fest, baby. Tonight we are here to review 2012's American Mary, directed by the Soska sisters. What is that? Jen and Sylvia Soska, and starring Katharine Isabelle, who, man, has a little reputation in the horror community, man. Did Ginger Snaps before. She's also in another Soska sisters directed, but it's a sequel, See No Evil 2, with Kane, Danielle Harris.
Oh, wow.
And
They had a sequel to that?
Dude,
I remember seeing it. I remember wanting to see the... You talking about the first one or the second one?
That was one of the first WWE movies, if not like the first.
Yeah, yep.
Like I remember I was so hyped because it was horror. It's Kane. You're like, dude, Kane's scary as fuck already. But I didn't even, the sequel had slipped past me until maybe like 6 years ago, I think. And dude, I saw it, Danielle Harris.
Track it down.
Like I said, dude, I fucking love that. There's also, I think, the guy who plays like Jim Carrey's kind of like obsessed, like, you know, like coffee maker or whatever, you know, in Sonic. He's in that too. He plays Katharine Isabelle's boyfriend. You know what I'm talking about? Like the weird guy who has the obsession.
The one that makes this cappuccino and stuff. He's like, of course I want a cappuccino. Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but but yeah, dude, this on the back, it says a Frankenstein for the 21st century. I think it has some Frankenstein vibes to it. It definitely has some of those, you know, like Hostel vibes, but more in like an artistic way, I'd say. Not as just, you know, just going
just
for
gore.
Gore. Like
little influence from
this is more just kind of showing a way of life for some people. The underground, like that is kind of underground life that not many of us think about, you know.
Especially in 2012, right, when the movie dropped. It's also got that American Psycho kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's another thing I really love about
it. It's very 70s revenge flick inspired.
Yeah,
I heard somebody mention it as I Spit on Your Grave meets American Psycho.
It has a lot. I think this movie is thriller, cruel picture without the hardcore pornography. But basically, this was a story of a girl who was exploited, and then takes it out on her captors and everybody that did it, and becoming a kind of like an assassin. So it had a lot with that type of picture.
She gave me Rose McGowan vibes, the main chick.
She was very good in it, I thought. She was
Yeah.
decent.
Oh yeah.
Which one?
Katharine Isabelle, I thought did a good job with what she had to do.
She's fantastic. I really love the main guy too that like runs the nightclub, and
he was good.
Her like
He
security.
reminded me of yeah, he was badass.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's been in a lot of
TV stuff. I've seen him in other shows.
I don't really know him from much, but I honestly, man, I really like everyone. I'm gonna say this is one of our homies, Two Gun Pedro, recommended this for us, so I know he's gonna be itching to hear what we all think. But yeah, I think Katharine Isabelle is great. I'm gonna be interested to hear what you think about the score on this, Robbie. But practical effects, awesome. You get a fucking hot ass chick, Katharine Isabelle, and she's just badass in this, dude. Who here was this their first time watching? I feel like Everett. Damn, so I'm the only one. Dude, that's surprising, man. Yes. So,
these lead to some of the best conversations on DHS.
Honestly, a lot of times the ones that I'm the only one that's seen have, man. So that's sweet, dude. Yeah, so here I'm gonna go around. Robbie, what your overall thoughts on this, man? What did you think first time watching? This is your first time probably jumping into Soska Sisters too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've never seen any of their other films.
Yeah.
And I've never seen the original See No Evil. First of all, major shout out to Two Gun Pedro for sending this to me and you. So that's awesome. Sure. The biggest disappointment is the special features aren't actually on this fucking disc. Dylan's is the same.
I think,
so
you know what?
Bullshit.
I swear before he sent it to me, he's like, or nope, that was fucking Alice. He was like, don't be. He's like, I opened it because I wanted to watch the special features. I thought, I was going to say, damn.
So anyway,
so it work somehow.
That was disappointing because I would like to see, like, I'd like to hear the commentary because
dude,
there is a YouTube video. It's the Soska sisters and Katharine like having a little interview, and it's pretty cool. So I got my notes that I write now when I take this. So these are my notes. I go, nice opening with the turkey. The professor's a bit abrasive, isn't he? We're going to find out more about him later. I said, right. Katharine Isabelle is beyond a cutie. The scene at the club where Mary has to operate on that dude is cool, but it could have went further. And that's a repeated theme almost, is like, there's so many moments that could have gone further. Now, in that interview I watched, the Soska sisters mentioned that they didn't want to go all the way. They wanted a lot to be in your imagination.
The implication.
Right.
Yeah, because they wanted also to be very respectful to the body mod community, right?
Yeah.
The Betty Boop chick is weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Bro.
The
cutting off the nipples and the sewing up the vagina is fucked up. And that scene kind of went there. The bits falling on the floor and shit, dude. That scene.
I didn't do
that scene was hard for me to watch, man. I was like, I don't know, man. That was weird.
Her legs just like, her arms are just like hanging out wide, and her legs are just kind of like.
Well, she's cutting off the extra bits to her vagina, and that shit is just dropping on the fucking floor, and it's like, and it's just, oh god.
Yeah.
It explores some interesting themes of body modification, and it explores some of the coldness and the dark humor of surgeons and stuff like that, right? And then, those surgeons are fucking creeps, like beyond. They are fucking evil fucking people. Rape scene is rough to watch, as it should be. But the next scene, which is the revenge scene, is fucking great. You know what I'm saying? And I wish, once again, though, it doesn't go there. It doesn't go all the way, right? It doesn't like show what she's doing. But then later, when we find out that she's keeping this motherfucker alive, I got that in my notes too. Right here, I got written titties and shrimp, LOL. Because that dude's like,
I don't know if I trust the shrimp.
That's live. That's live in the movie.
I love the "You Want My Body" song that they're playing in that one.
Yeah.
You want my
with the
body.
twins, yeah.
I want your body. And the twins are the Soska sisters, by the way.
Man, trying to figure out.
No way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the twins are the
twins.
Yeah, the twins are the directors. And you can Kevy, Kevvy is who does that song, Dylan. You can find it on YouTube. And then I go, oh my God, she's keeping Dr. Grant alive. And dude, she goes ham when she kills that security guard. When he like pops in. That's an amazing fucking scene. The music's not really standing out for me. It's a bit generic,
Yeah.
All right. The scene with Lance and Mary is incredibly touching, where he says, like, don't ever undervalue what you do. These people fucking deserve this shit. Yeah. It's playing with themes of isolation, loneliness, the falseness of society, and of course,
what people are capable of.
And also like a woman's experience through something like this, the surgeon field, which is, or any other field that's heavily male dominated. This is doing what She-Hulk is doing, but I mean, obviously She-Hulk ain't going to fucking go as far as this one does.
Yeah, if you hate She-Hulk, don't watch this movie.
The music's nice though when it's just the piano. They play Ave Maria, and they use that well. And they use a lot of soundtrack music that's perfectly placed. But outside of that, the music is kind of generic. But the piano stuff, when they do it, there's a couple bits where there's just a solo piano. I don't know if it's something scored for the film or if it's like thrown in later, but it feels kind of darkly classical and refined. The whole thing with Ruby's husband, though, at the end, it kind of comes out of fucking nowhere. Like it's not threaded in there. I like the tragic nature of the end. I like the tragic nature of the end, but it doesn't feel like all the threads work together. Another 10 minutes, this movie could have been perfect. I think there's some stuff that got cut out, and it's all involving Barbie and Betty Boop and her husband.
That subplot.
They could have threaded that in better. I'm thinking of something like American Beauty, where how they had the Colonel was thread in there. So when he kills, Kevin Spacey's character, is it Lance? I can't remember now. But when he kills him at the end, spoilers, there's more of a connection there that kind of makes sense. So overall, I really, really did like this movie a lot. I just feel like if you could have made what happened at the end connect and thread more through the movie, this movie would be a 5 for me. This movie would be so fucking perfect because it's Katharine Isabelle is amazing in the movie. The guy who owns the club's fucking amazing. Like their little story, like there is a tragic point to this that resonates very much to me, but it just doesn't quite pull it all together. But for me, an incredibly enjoyable film. I will recommend this one all day.
There is a scene though where the Barbie chick shows off her body to her husband, and that he
and he gets pissed off.
Pissed, and I mean, obviously, you don't think he's gonna go off and fucking make that.
But
I don't know if
he never
killed the Betty Boop girl.
Yeah,
the fucking shit
he
out
never
of her.
speaks,
But
so
he
you
for
never
sure
get
killed
to.
Katharine Isabelle.
If they would have shown like a. Go on, sir.
I almost thought it was going to be the club owner that's going to kill him because the club owner was terrified of her and was afraid of her. So I almost thought that maybe would have been better.
But like in love with her too, right?
But in love with her at the same time.
Dick sucked in the second he locked eyes with her. He just nuts, bro. Like, dude, he's.
I think if they would have,
dude, I'm not kidding, bro. Watch it, bro. He literally like he's like doesn't he's not even into it. And the second she walks in, he's like done. Like, and
sorry, wrong place, wrong time, wrong dick in your mouth.
Yeah.
Right.
The fuck was I gonna say though about it?
That's another thing that kind of doesn't work for me though. I mean, I like what they're doing there. I like the subtle nature. I like almost that they don't consummate it, but you needed more from her side because when she starts like catching feelings for dude, it feels like that scene with that woman who's giving him the blowjob. Like it almost comes out of nowhere. Like she had no interest, it felt like, right? So like, I think there's like 10, 15 minutes on the cutting room floor that would have made this movie great, but they didn't want this to be 2 hours. They had to trim it down. So,
or like with the Barbie chick, if they would have included a scene of her just explaining that, you know, she's with a very controlling husband or something, and he likes me a certain way, or
before the fucking thing, like my husband's very controlling about my body, so and this is something I want to do, you know, like she said that right there.
That would have went a long way.
Right. Or if he would have been the Betty Boop character. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, no, you're good.
No, I was saying if he would have been the Betty Boop character, right?
But she wouldn't
coming to her for the surgery, but like she never telling him what it is she was gonna do, right? Like he's so madly in love with her, he'd do anything for her. He'd pay for anything. He'd find any doctor for her, anything she'd want. But he didn't think she was gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know, because he can't have sex with her anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that may be the reason why Beatrix is doing it, because it doesn't seem like this woman is lacking in like influence. You know what I'm saying? So like, it could have just, there should have been more kind of put it. He should have been a character. They should have been a character. They should have been involved more in the story.
He didn't even have a line like Fable said that, you know.
Yeah.
No, we saw like a rare glimpse
Yeah, it's simply there just because they need somebody at the end to show up. Yeah. And you could have threaded that in better.
Gut shot ending where this chick dies.
It's almost like he's trying to set up that shot. Like we'll let up
of her
to
just laying
that
on
beautiful shot. Yeah. It's like they needed to put
together
to get there.
Yeah. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, though I think there's something though that they're playing with him being scared of her, and then her like saying, "Oh, are you scared of me?" He's like, "No," but like he's scared of her, but he's also like turned on by her at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. There's so much shit nowadays that guys, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm trying to get at. But and he this is the guy that like lives with beautiful women around him at all times. So he's trying to test the waters and see what he likes. He might want this chick start cutting him while they're who fucking knows, bro. Like, but Scarpe, my man, first time watch for you as well. What are your thoughts on this, man? Your overall thoughts?
Well, first let's get out of the way. From the 2013 Bush report here, not a good movie from a Bush angle. Ultimately, it's what kills Mary, bad Bush. So I guess it ties in. No, I think Robbie said exactly right. I like the movie. I like the theme of it, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't bridge well together. When he, after the rape scene, we don't really get that she kidnaps. Let's go back. She becomes a mob surgeon, but you don't get to really see enough of that. That's there, and then
transformation.
She quits. She doesn't, go the rest of the way as being a doctor, but she has all this knowledge. I mean, she's doing some very complex operations. And then maybe that's another thing I had a problem with the movie, like when she's operating in the twins. I mean, it almost seems like she operates on all these people. They lay there for like a day, pay her off, get better, and they leave. I mean, she's doing a lot of very complex operations that kind of glosses over all that. But I'm kind of glad you don't see the initial amputations of the doctor, because then that adds to the shock value of that. Right. Unfortunately, once that happens, then you almost forget about the guy. After the guard comes in and he's on the floor, does she kill him? What happens?
I get the idea that she kills him.
She must kill them because
Lance even says something like about those two or something like that.
You don't see him in the thing. The guard, we don't know where he came from. And the guard was weird. Is like he just suddenly he's there in back of her, instead of trying to go, he swings at her something that warns her, and that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like we're getting payoffs, not enough setup.
Right, and then after that, the cop in the movie, that subplot goes nowhere. That cop doesn't do anything. He shows up at various points, and then he just shows up at the end, and she's the whole thing is over with. So the cop is a character that almost could be removed. And if they could have taken that cop time and devoted it to bridging some of the sequences with the husband and the doctor and the club dude, that would have been better time spent with those characters. Right? Whether they filmed it and she cut it or they didn't film it, there wasn't quite enough there that I think the story gels as a whole. I still like the movie. I think Katharine and Isabelle is great. The characters are great. I'm kind of glad it doesn't turn into a human centipede type thing. It could have went there.
Oh yeah.
It stays away from that.
Me too.
Somewhat. But overall, I liked it. I'm not sure now. They call it, the movie's called American Mary. What's the American part of it? They're in America, aren't they? I mean, I'm confused.
Were they in? What country were they in?
It's almost
were
like
they in a different
they're
country?
not in America. No, they're in another country. They're in
the professor.
Yeah, the doctors are all British or some shit, right?
Yeah,
dubbed over. The professor
it seems like
it is a Canadian it's a Canadian movie, so they may be in Canada.
Okay.
But
because then the security guard was American. That threw me off.
Right. Yeah, I don't like overly gory snuff films for no reason, but I think this movie needed a little bit more of that, because I don't think there was enough to they were doing. They had that one scene with the twins, you know. And when she took the eye, I like when they were going through everybody, the guy with the horns and stuff like that. That was kind of cool. So overall, I do like the movie. It's just that I think it could have used a little bit more time in the story development area of it.
And as far as the gore, I bet with the nudity, with the sexual content, with the body mod stuff, I feel like they probably intentionally toned down the gore because they were like, let's not. I mean, we got to get an R rating out of this, you know. So let's
Hostel just came out a couple years before this.
Yeah, but there was a toning down from that. But
well, that's true. This is 2013.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so they were trying not to get casted as, you know, this is just.
Well, look at the latest film by Cronenberg. There, that got an R. And
what was that?
Friends of the Future got an R. So I mean,
dude,
I think
there's not
and obviously this would have been. This is kind of like Cronenberg light. They didn't want to go all the way into that, but I think it was inspired.
Well, you gotta think these are also two women directors that are independent directors. You know what I mean? These aren't like big Hollywood directors. They're you know, they don't got a lot of money, I'm sure. You know, this was a film that
the other part of it,
it's saying, you know, it's got this Screamfest awards. You know, this was going in.
The Soska sisters do mention that they intentionally didn't show a lot of gore because they wanted to do the whole what you imagine is.
I mean,
worse.
it says she's an artist. You know what I mean? If you just show it all, you know what I mean. They want to leave some interpretation. You know.
The other thing I mean, as bad as the rape is that enough to push her over the edge to do what she does? I still would like to see a little bit more. Well, maybe she tried to get help from the police or something and she couldn't get it, or something happened there to just push her over the edge, because her character pre that and post that, it's different, but I would like to see a little bit more there too.
It's just Katharine Isabelle doesn't seem to have like a lot of feeling there. You know what I mean? Like when it happens to her, like she wakes up and she's like in tears and everything, but after that it's like
she was cold.
She's cold as fuck. But like she was cold before that, really. You know what I mean?
See, I love that heel turn though.
That one,
because she just goes to that dude like, "Do you want to make
like,
$5,000?"
She was already cold. It just really just opened the door.
That's the scene I was the catalyst. It's like she walked through. Yep.
Oh.
Well, I also like that everybody got scenes in this movie too. Even that bouncer dude, the long hair, gets to tell the story about his mother there. So there's parts written for everybody, even if they're in the background of this movie a little bit, which is nice.
Kevin Spacey's name in American Beauty is Lester Burnham. Just thought of that. Anyway.
Yeah, American Beauty is a better movie, but
there's some things I wish she kind of wouldn't have dropped out of the freaking schooling too, because it's like she just after that happens with the teachers. I mean, she gets rid of them anyway, so it's like you could have still went to school.
Well, she realizes that she's not gonna be a surgeon. She's not gonna be able to do it. She's not gonna be able to. This world will not allow someone like her. Like, and
they call each other slashers and shit like that.
And she don't need it, man. All she got to do is cut people's tongue in two and make you know what I'm saying.
She's like perfect for that. Her vibe and everything, her style. It's just and these people seem to really, you know, they like her a lot. You know.
Well, wouldn't you? Look at what she wears to surgery, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I would never meet her because I would never get no shit like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Come on, Dylan. Tell us about what you had done.
Dylan's got his dick split, you know, and
that scene was nasty.
Oh my God.
It was only like a split second, but it was nasty.
You see the freaking bar through the D. I think DJ Pauly D has that. Could you imagine? Hell no.
How do you get through a metal detector, man? How do you get through a magnet area, man?
Dude, she is cold though, because even when like her nana dies, like the most important that we've established that's like her best friend, she doesn't have
Yeah,
her
she just
friend.
deletes the contact.
You know, that's her best friend, her like only cling to life. And when she dies, she just deletes that number.
See, that's but that's such a powerful fucking scene because she gets the call. She's like, sorry, I missed your call, and it just cuts, and then she's devastated, and then
that was her final thread.
Her having to do that, like they didn't have. Other movies would like go out of their way to make sure you understood what was going on. They really did the less is more thing very well with that scene, I think.
I kind of like the dude too that shows up just for the tattoos. He's pretty cool.
She's like, get the fuck out of here, you normie, you fucking muggle.
Yeah.
Or what is it? The guy that freaking gets his D pierced and he freaking masturbates at him a rug burn and rips the skin. Steph, what did you think of this, my man?
Speaking of ripping skin and rug burning your dick.
I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't know what to expect, but her journey was an interesting one. I agree with you guys. I think they kind of rushed certain scenes, or they didn't set up certain scenes that played out towards the end. But it was an interesting journey, worth watching. I think that she, they maybe it was budgetary reasons or like time, but I felt like they established her becoming cold and callous to this stuff going around her pretty early on. Like when she the first scene where she has to like patch the guy up, and she's he like touches her arm, and she gets a 5K or 5G and walks away, and she goes home and she just kind of breaks down, and then it shows like a few scenes of her the next couple of days. She's like got it back because she's paranoid, like they might come after me, like this is some weird shit. But by then it was when she got over that, that was like I don't want to say someone's first kill, but she was like exposed to the darkness of the world. And so when someone came to her for something less severe but still like body modification wise, the Barbie, she's like, okay, and she was getting more money. So it was like, I guess, baby steps. They could have shown it a little better, but I think those scenes were trying to show her becoming cold and used to the world. Right.
Yeah, I mean, she jumps in it from the little ones to the snipping, and then the twins.
Yeah, I think I still would like to see at least one more scene with the professor. There wasn't enough with him because he was the catalyst for the movie, and there wasn't enough closure.
That closure.
I mean, the dude at the bar said the one chick just left. He would have liked some closure, so maybe that was like a meta thing with the director saying you're not going to get closure with every character in this movie.
At that moment, though,
he was.
He's like, I'm really trying to get some from you, Mary. And he's like,
I think
it's really nice to know that you come here, that you like to come here after a long day. And she's like, yeah, I'm not here for you. Like, I'm here because Beatrice won't leave me the fuck alone. Like, and he's like, oh, okay. He's like thinking like all happy he's coming to see him, and
dude, when he starts getting sprung on her, man, that shit is so authentic, like schoolboy crush, like but scared of her. Which Steph was talking about her sitting there with the baseball bat, like she's scared of him at first.
Yeah,
what I'm saying, and then they flip that fucking script, bro, and he's like fucking terrified. Like now he's working for her.
Daymares.
We're scared shitless when after the scene with the girl giving him head, and she goes in the bathroom. There's like 3 women. The second they see,
they just ran out.
They run out. Crazy, man. Steph, did you have anything else you wanted to add, my brother?
It was a very interesting movie. I don't know how I would classify this. It's got horror elements. It's a thriller in a sense. I think the cast was dope. Like for it to be so unknown, for the cast to be usually like movies like this, like the acting, you can like these were some solid actors in this movie. I feel for especially to be so independent. The bartender dude was pretty charming, to be honest. For all the foul shit he did, it could have easily just been some sleazeball, but there is like I didn't mind seeing him on screen. Like there's like a charm to him.
I like him too.
Yeah,
he's a good character.
But I really enjoyed this. I like when a movie surprises me, and this was a big surprise.
Yeah, dude. I get like an artistic American Psycho meets like Frankenstein with little like a PG-13 Hostel in a way. like
the best way to.
it's an R-rated film, but just compared to seeing when you see that shit with Hostel.
Right. Well, as I said, the 70s had a lot of these revenge flicks. The Last House on the Left, Death Wish, and all. There's a ton of these type of revenge flicks, and that's really what this is. It's a revenge thriller.
Yeah.
With horror elements.
Yeah. And body modifications.
Yeah, body horror in particular, right? And how that can relate to body mod. And I like the way that they handle that community, man. Like they said, they wanted to be respectful to it, and I really like the way that they did that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see that.
Even though I would never do any of that shit.
Really, any movies. Yeah.
No, I applaud. I applaud their courage. But what's the Barbie line? Or she says, she's like, haven't you always wanted? Or don't you think haven't you always thought it was unfair that God gets to decide how you look? And it's like, that's up to you. Yeah, that is. You should be able to decide how you look, whether it be uncanny, cartoonish, whatever.
How does she pee?
Fable, First time watch for you as well. What did you think of this, bro?
Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I can't add too much with more than what you guys have been saying. I agree with all of your points, actually, everything you guys brought up. Scarpad saying it needed more character development. I agree with that. I think a lot of it is implied, not only in the horror or in the gore, but also in the story. A lot of the story is kind of implied. You have to kind of fill in the gaps yourself. Like when we're talking about the husband, that little 1-2 second scene of him getting mad at seeing her body. I mean, we know that's not enough, but we get it, right? We kind of get it right there quickly. So, but we want to see more.
Then you get the scene where the husband was to beat up Betty Boop, and Betty Boop gave it up, and that's how he found her. So it does make sense. It just I would have liked a little bit more there.
Yeah, we want to see a little more, and that speaks to the interesting subject that they're going for here. And you guys are totally right. I've never seen a movie where they try to tackle something like this, and it really got me thinking also, like, where do the doctors come from that put these things in people? Because we've all seen these people online. This exists. This is real life. These people with real horns in their head and real things, implanted into their bodies. And who does this for these people?
Well, this is regular doctors that just take up
maybe there is a community like this. Involved in it, so maybe
underground.
Maybe there's some truth.
I don't know so much it's underground. It's just obviously you have to go.
Bro, she had to switch these two fucking chicks' arms, man. That's underground, bro.
Well,
Come on.
That was really that.
And then that scene, dude. So they go like, "We want you to switch our arms," and I'm
that
like,
was the whole
fucking crazy.
Really.
Cut them off.
Okay, if women are getting butt injections illegally, I'm sure that there's someone out there that's willing to split someone's tongue and not buy the books.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just switch arms like that. That's the fantasy element of this movie.
Well, what's crazy is so they do the arm thing, and then they're like, and we also want this. And they're like, oh, this is going to be really complicated. And so I'm thinking, what the fuck is it? Like, are they going to, I need another doctor there. I'm like, they're going to fucking switch hearts? Like, that's what I'm thinking. They're going to switch hearts, they're going to switch faces or some shit. And then, like, it's just not, we want some horns and a tail. And I'm like, the arm thing's way crazier than that. You lead with that, then reveal the arm thing.
Right.
A tail wouldn't be too hard, except that, you're sitting down and, getting clothes. That would be tough.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if I had any complaints, it would be that I would have probably preferred that this be an origin story for American Mary. Her change into this broke med student, into this, Harley Quinn-esque crazy lady that runs this, chop shop and tries to get revenge on the side for money and stuff for people. Because she was looking for jobs. She had gotten as addicted to cutting people as the crazy ass surgeon she was at the party with. Right? Yeah. She kind of fell through that rabbit hole and became the
adrenaline that he was talking about.
Became her became the person that she hated, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the husband man, he got all freaked out over the groin area. Man, look at what happened to the face area, man. I'd be more worried about that.
I would have much rather her live this and get everybody in the end and twist that tie, twist that bow at the end, like
instead of if, how would you feel? How would you feel if, instead of the husband at the end, if it was the club owner? To me, that may have been a better ending.
Well, the scene where he dreams of her killing him, I thought that was actually something that happened until they, they dropped the thing on you.
Oh, shit.
And when she killed him, I said in my head, absolutely, that's exactly how that should have went. They should have kept that going. She should have killed him. She killed everybody. You know what I mean? It's
no
her
downfall.
Yeah,
well, I'm saying it may have made more sense for the club owner because at the very end, he pretty much kind of got the idea that she was maybe there to kill him, and him killing her maybe would have made a bit more sense.
I would have liked to see her kill the stripper that gave him head, kill him, and kill Betty Boop's husband. And
maybe
leave and open it up to like Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? That was crazy. This woman fell into madness, a good tale like that. But for the ending, I know they were trying to do a theme, and it kind of worked. It wrapped things up. But yeah,
I was expecting at the end for her not to be.
They were trying to like show that.
Made a sequel.
Go ahead, Steph.
Oh no, I was gonna say maybe because he seemed like a dude who, he owner of the club, got all the chicks, power control issues. Maybe he got off on the fact that there's this chick who intimidated him when he wasn't used to being intimidated by people. Maybe that, I don't know if that was what they were going for, but that could have been that scene that he was like kind of turned on by the fact that he feared her.
Well, his interview of her got cut short, remember, because he had that guy that he wanted to keep alive. If that guy didn't come up, if he didn't send her down to help him, that interview was going to probably go very similarly to how her rape went. So he may have been dead a lot earlier if that had continued right then and there, because he was getting ready to do the big interview.
I don't think he wasn't going to drug her, though. He was just going to be like...
No, he was just going to do it right there.
Very handsy.
Yeah, but she would have probably had a choice. Like, if you want the job, you got to do this.
It's for money,
If you don't want to
it wasn't against her will.
I got more.
Right.
Because he's the type where he's like, at that point, he doesn't give a fuck who she is.
Right.
So he's like, I got plenty of chicks coming in. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's cool. Like, thanks for showing me your little dirty deeds, like most people don't have,
Should bring in a resume to a strip club, man.
Yeah, to a strip club. But
resume's under that shirt, sweetie.
I think the movie's great, man. It definitely isn't perfect, and if it was a little bit stronger in some areas, it could be damn well near perfect. But that's what happens when it's an independent film. They don't have as much money. And they gotta make some tough decisions.
There's something here for sure. There's a twisted tale that, if told correctly, and I'm sorry I didn't get to say this in my point.
Go ahead.
I thought that her acting was way above everybody's acting.
Oh
yeah.
I thought she stood out way more, and it was a little kind of disjointed at times because those doctors were terrible. The Dr. Walsh,
the professor, and
their acting was terrible. But and the cop too, he was kind of bad too.
The worst.
But she was really good. She was really good, and I could see her carrying this character on. That's why I was a little disappointed. She
hell yeah, dude. She could.
That don't matter. I mean,
was she bleeding internally?
Iconic.
What's that?
Was she bleeding internally in the end?
Because
she looks like she sewed herself up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He sliced it.
She couldn't do it in time. She just couldn't catch it.
No, I think it was
as she moves over. You see that trail of blood, right?
Bleeding.
Yeah.
That's like, you never know what he hit.
Just fortunate to have a needle and thread right there,
Right, she got it just to land right perfectly. She found it immediately.
Imagine they would have played with the cop, more about him thinking she's such an innocent person and all this other stuff, and to be the bombshell at the end that he walks into this crime scene and he realizes that this innocent chick that he's been like trying to protect the whole time because he thinks she got raped, right? So he's on the I'm gonna catch your rapist and these weird sick doctors. It's like, no, Mary's the sickest of them all. Twist for him.
I think he kind of knew. He had that Columbo thing going. Oh, one more thing. But I think his part was underdeveloped. In the end, I think they could have cut him. I don't think he was really necessary to the story.
Pedro said.
Oh, yeah. What you guys want to say? You guys want to go in what you think this movie's trying to say? Then probably get into the rating. I know Two said a lot of themes and messages in this film. There's definitely a couple themes. We'll start with Fable, because Robbie could say it all. We could all just steal from Robbie after.
Oh, shut up.
We could, though. It might
Just
be
let Robbie go first.
You guys are way more insightful than me at times.
Hey, we are. We definitely
y'all are worth it. Okay, I'm tired of this whole Robbie right now. It's about y'all, man.
Most of the time, we're more insightful than you.
I know. This movie's about cutting people up, man.
Cut.
Slashers.
Slashers.
How that makes you feel good. I just read that
What is
slasher
it
book.
that we didn't even talk about
too.
that dumbass Asian guy, and he's like just so
dude, that's like we need to see him fucking die. Like,
yeah. Why she should, dude? That would have been a good kill. Just hearing that motherfucker scream. Yeah,
that scene's rough, man, because you know what the fuck is going on.
It's so weird because
like
as soon as he walks to the side, you got like the 4 guys and some woman just like lied up on the table, and they're all
jerking it, man. Circle jerk there.
Yeah,
man.
weird
and,
fuck, bro.
As soon as she gets there, though, you know what's going on, so it makes it so fucking tough, man. Because you're like, no, don't drink that. Don't fucking drink that. No.
So quick, taking a drink from somebody you don't fucking know.
Never.
And they're all like, come on, it's just so you're like, oh no. And then they think that she's a fucking that went prostitute because she's talking about having her money problems and shit beforehand. And then out of nowhere, because she gets the dress, it's like, dude, girls do get gifted things from time to time. Like, it happens. Like, it's not out of the ordinary for, like, if she met a guy and he was like, oh, I want to buy you a dress or something. It happens. Like, just because he sees that girl, Beatrice, come up, and then he just jumps to the conclusion that, I don't know why he thought that, I guess maybe her look made it. I don't know. But that guy's just a fucking weirdo and an asshole, and that he gets what he deserves. That, it's just, been fucking crazy to see her kind of go through a couple of them. Like, you really get the most part with, it's Walsh, right? Or one of them, Dr. Graham, one of them. I think it's Graham, and then Walsh is the weird one who talks about being a slasher or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they're not good depiction of doctors in this movie. There's really not one doctor that's a decent doctor.
The guy's he's looking for a surgery to do. She was like, "You're kidding, right?" He was like, "No, I really was. I was looking for."
It was like a association of scumbag doctors.
Oh man, well, Kenneth, I recommend if you can get to the movies whenever you get the opportunity, man, go see Barbarian. Fucking awesome, dude. Probably my favorite of the year.
I actually saw the trailer for that and forgot about it because I remember seeing old dude in it.
I thought I didn't see it at all, and then when I saw the movie, I was like, okay, I do remember seeing.
I remember this. I want to see that.
I remember seeing the guy who plays Pennywise, and I was like,
yep.
As soon as I saw him, I turned the trailer off because I was like, I don't need to see nothing else. I'm gonna watch it no matter what. So I just did at that point because I'm trying to be a little bit more. And with the independent films, it's easier for me to be like, I don't need to see the trailer. But if it's something like Halloween, you know what I'm saying? The fanboys coming out, the 5-year-olds coming out, and I gotta watch that trailer a million times.
Well, the one they seem to be pushing at the movies now is that movie Smile that's coming out this month.
That'll probably be.
But that doesn't look all that good.
Fable, what do you think this movie's trying to say with some of the themes? What did you pick up in this?
You guys said it before. I think this movie has a bunch of themes. I think there's a lot going on here. I think there's some themes that have to do with, the body mod community and maybe even the trans community. Just wanting to change yourself and things like that. And, society, the way they treat people who look different and, things like that. But the theme that I'm going to focus on, and I only focus on it because I was looking for a villain or some kind of something in this movie that was contrast to her. But she really got her guy early in the movie. The guy who did the harm to her, she got him early. So I think the enemy in this movie is herself. I think this movie is about bad decisions and that come out of desperation. And I think Robbie said it earlier, loneliness.
And trauma.
When you're when you're lonely and you're desperate and you got no money and Nana
Out
seems to
on
be
your
your only
own.
relative. Out on your own with these creepy men, doctors, weird.
Yeah, she's a
weird
woman,
guys talking
you
about
know?
cutting
Yeah.
and slashing, and it's kind of like the only chick there, kind of thing.
No friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so the second her teacher calls her and tells her, don't fucking miss my class, and having this attitude with these cursing and stuff. Any sane person would be like, don't talk to me like that. Who the fuck you think you talking to? I'm paying for school, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Well, that's a trope. That's a teacher trope.
Listen,
in a lot of different
doesn't
movies.
matter. The point is that she's making bad decisions constantly, and they're leading her down this rabbit hole of bad decisions. And she keeps going with it, like one after the other, and eventually leads to her death. Towards the end, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm wrong. I think this movie is totally about bad decision making and where it could lead when you're desperate and lonely,
Yeah. Split decision making, and that right or wrong choice leads you down two separate paths. And it truly did. She could have went down stripping, which she
There was a
could
lot
have
of
done.
them.
She could have.
It was one after
The
the other.
second that he said maybe
choice.
the second that he would have offered like for her to blow him or something, she could have said nope, I'm done. Because she kind of seemed the type where she wouldn't go that far. Where she's like, fine, I'll do the bullshit rubbing, but she wasn't gonna like see sexualize herself.
She told him, I will do anything for $5,000.
She did say that at the end, but that was for $5,000.
Yeah, she said, I will do anything
there
you
was
want for
$5,000
$5,000
on the
cash.
table before. That girl who spit his shit did not get no $5,000. She ain't get shit. She got a fucking mouthful. That's all.
Yeah.
Fable or Steph. What do you think this movie's trying to say? And I like what Two Gun says: the victim becomes the villain.
Yeah, that was a good one.
In a way, man, that's kind of like some Joaquin Phoenix Joker vibes right there too.
Yeah.
You know, standing up, man, and becoming the villain. Crazy. I like that.
I think it's about what people are capable of, kind of like embracing the darkness. Like, I think she, at the beginning, going into that field of being a surgeon, doctors, people in that field naturally are supposed to want to help their patients. In the case of a surgeon, they want to help their patients become who they feel on the outside, But when she, maybe she thought she wasn't capable of the shit she ended up doing. And like, that's why she was so traumatized initially, because, as a doctor, you're supposed to help someone, but she helped that guy just so he can get tortured later. Like, the right thing to do would have probably been put him out of his misery, but she just used her skills for good for something bad, in a sense.
The bodyguard even says he's like, what, you're upset? And she's like,
right.
It still affects me,
Yeah, right. He's
saying you're using your skills to get rid of the bad guys, but truly, the only bad guy she's dispatched in this movie was the professor. I mean, all the people that she helped, the body modification, she helped them because ultimately that's what they wanted. So she wasn't hurting those people. The doctors was the only one that she really dispatched. Otherwise, she really didn't kill anybody else. Am I missing you?
Yeah, but when you take like a doctor's oath, you're supposed to, it's like your first thing is to make sure your patient is taken care of. She helped a guy just so he could get tortured longer. That's so against the doctor's oath.
Yes.
So maybe she didn't believe she was capable of that. And as she's doing all these body modification things, like things that she probably, these are underground things, because maybe actual business surgeons won't do this shit because it's so risky or against the rules or something. And the more she embraces
against it.
Absolutely. Surgeons don't always go do what you have to find a different surgeon sometimes.
Yeah, and that darkness you talk about, the darkness you talk about too. I mean, when you see the guy hanging by hooks in his back,
she was embracing that.
There how freaking deep and dark she is. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I forgot.
And humans, as mankind, we very adaptable, and we can get used to a lot of ill shit at times too. So I think speaking on that.
Yeah. I like it, Steph. I like it. Scarpat, what do you think, my man?
I think it's pretty much all been said. I mean, it was a revenge. It was, the themes are revenge. First off, I mean, I would say that it's a revenge flick first and foremost, and basically going against your ideal. The theme of anybody can be the villain. They said the hero becomes the villain, or the person that you feel sorry for or was victimized becomes the villain in the end.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. I mean, it's not a deep themed movie, but it was interesting. As I said, I would like to see it go a little bit further.
It's like that. It's that villain though that you love to watch. It's not where you're like, oh, dude, like you're not really even thinking.
Well,
she's
she
a villain
could
in the
do
moment.
everything.
You're just like,
She could do everything with a
waiting for her
smile.
next move.
Yeah, she could do everything with a smile, and her demeanor didn't really change. Outside demeanor didn't change. It was her inside demeanor that changed.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Robbie, what'd you think, my man?
Well, I want to quote the musical Rent. Connection in an isolating age. Anyway, connection. That's what this movie's about, and how we lose connection and how we try to find connections to things through isolation. So I love the bit with her Nana or whatever, because the movie starts and at the same time that it's telling us that she's a broke medical student by her phone getting cut off, it's also telling us the theme. Because the first thing that happens to her is she loses her phone connection. Right? So that means that when you lose that, you lose your sense of connecting with people, right? Throughout the movie, who's the only person she really talks to? It's her Nana. So when her Nana goes, that's like the final bit of her connection to what came before, who she was before, who she is now. So when that happens at the end of Act 2, that propels us into the craziness of Act 3, because she has completely now disassociated herself from that life. She is slowly losing these connections that she does have, and she's trying to replace this stuff. While she's being isolated, she's replacing it with things that aren't good for her. You could see it as an analogy for any kind of substance abuse, like sex addiction, any kind of addiction. All right. That's why they go out of their way to tell you we get addicted to slashing people. That's what gives her that endorphin rush. That's what gives her that dopamine. It's not connecting to people. She doesn't have friends. The only dude that she's actually into is this fucking sleazy club owner, like, wannabe mobster. I mean, he's not even Tony Soprano. He's fucking Christopher. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's and Lance is a good dude, but it's still like, so it's about that to me. To me, it's about connection, isolation. And I think the body modification bit is tied into that as well, because when we lose that connection and we're in an isolated space, we try to find that connection however we can. Some people do harm to themselves. Some people buy way too many fucking comic books and action figures. And other people, they deal with it maybe in a healthier way. Maybe, and that's something I think that they're trying to do with the body modification. It's a way to reconnect to yourself. It's a way to reconnect to your identity, to your new identity. And this is something that Mary wants. Her journey parallels the journey of some of these of like the Soska sisters in the movie, like the two twins, or even the Barbie woman or Betty. She is on her way to self-actualization to be happy, but what she's doing is she's going down this darker path. And so I think what it is about is it's about the danger of losing connection, and the dangers of perpetual isolation, and what we do to fill the void of that loss of connection with people. We go to seedier places, sleazier people, and things that maybe hurt ourselves. So that's what I think.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's why it's very important that this is not just Mary's story, but it's American Mary's story. I think it's the American kind of like it. That's not that it's solely American, but it is a very American idea of being surrounded by technology and people in so many ways to connect and being completely alone and isolated. So many of us are.
Hell yeah. You all had great themes, man. I'd say one of the best all around go arounds for everyone having like their own great theme. Y'all did great on that one, man. Great enough to where I just could copy all you guys on my own thing, you know. But yeah, dude, it's I love Two Gun saying, you know, the victim becomes the villain. You get you know, you get like Scarp had said, it's a straight up revenge. It's got those Frankenstein hints with her just going spiraling, but not in a sadistic way as we've known, more like in an intelligent way. You know what I mean? Like kind of more like the old school Frankenstein, you know, but a little less tamed down, you know.
Right.
I think Katharine Isabelle is great. She's a fucking fantastic actor, and I know she has a very close relationship with the Soska sisters. That's why I know that's how they got her to do this, because she probably was not paid much for this. It was definitely, I'm sure, a favor. And probably
you said she was in Ginger Snaps.
She was in Ginger Snaps, but that was a few years before.
That's 2000, right? 2000, I think.
Was it?
Early 2000s.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, that she did See No Evil 2 with them. There might be one more movie she did with them.
See No Evil, isn't that the movie with Richard Pryor?
They're the Soska sisters' first movie was called
that was Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
That's a different movie, but yeah, you're right.
So you guys want to get into the rating on this one? Or
let's do it.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Hell yeah. Fable, you want to start us out, my brother? And anyone in the chat who was able to catch and review and watch American Mary, throw your rating down below in the chat. Let us know what you think. When you're ready.
All right, I'm gonna give this one a 3 slips.
3.
I think it was solid. I think it was a good twisted tale. I think it needed a little more. It could have been something really, really great. But that being said, it's very enjoyable. It's interesting. It piques your interest. You won't be mad you watched it, right? You're gonna watch this to the end probably because it keeps the nugget rolling enough for you to keep up with it. And I can't, a movie that does that for me is golden, because a lot of movies sometimes they just lose me within the first half hour, and this one genuinely had me interested to see what this tale was going to end up like, you know, and points also for it being such an original tale, something I've never came across. Like, this is definitely an original story. So
yeah,
and the actress also, points for her. She carried the movie, very believable. I would have bought a franchise with her as American Mary, going around getting revenge on maybe crazy doctors that rape out or deep pill women or whatever it is.
Female Dexter.
I could take a trilogy of this, man.
You know, I would have loved to see that continue. Maybe with a bigger
even the
budget,
dentist got a
tighter
sequel.
writing. Yeah, you know. So yeah, man, enjoyable. 3 slips, man. I think that's solid.
Dude, hell yeah. If it would have been, dude, this would have been cool. They should have done a sequel for this, man, or at least a prequel or something. But she deserves it, man. I wish they almost wouldn't have killed her.
It felt like an origin tale.
What they gotta do, but they could have done
like
something.
Her origin, man, how she came to be American Mary, man. You know, this is
You're right.
But yeah.
I
liked it, man. I liked it. Good.
Hell
2 Gun. You said 2 Gun recommended this one?
2 Gun recommended this one. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And dude, I think he had the highest rate. The last movie he had us do, The Entity, that's like the highest viewed video on my entire channel.
I think it's still Better Watch Out, but
they're like neck
Watch
and
Out
neck.
is great too.
They're like
the Entity has legs though. It keeps moving. It keeps moving. My favorite thing
Well,
about what
both
Fable
do.
said, by
They
the way,
both
was
do.
Fable said keep the nugget rolling.
Yeah.
I've never heard that, but I really like that. I just imagine like a nugget of weed. You're like, keep it rolling, get it? Yeah.
Steph, my dude, what do you think? Or is he frozen?
He's doing the bit.
Oh yeah.
No, he's really frozen. I can see little
Scarphead,
jaggies.
you go ahead, my man. Until he comes back.
Yeah, I agree with Fable. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5. I think the story is good. I think the acting is great. I just think it could have used a little bit more time in the script writing practice. A portion of it to kind of make some of the stuff kind of move together a little bit more seamlessly. But it's certainly a 3, so it's 3 out of 5 for me.
Nice.
See my bro Evan. I told you that.
Nice.
2.2.
Wow.
Nice.
2.2K views and Better Watch Out 1.8. Motel Hell has been coming up on it. Has been doing pretty good recently. And the New York Ripper is another one that's been getting some good
It's because of that sexy thumbnail that I made. I guarantee it, man. He was like, "They're gonna be titties in this one." Oh man, it's just some dudes.
Better Watch Out in the Entity. Those are two, man.
Oh, can I put that as a minus in this movie? Not enough titties. I think this could have used just a little more. Just
man, they do need a little bit.
Especially
they didn't have to
modification
imply
stuff.
everything.
And some of the titties
and they're in a strip club. We didn't even see any titties.
You
Come on.
just see Beatrice's. That's it, I think.
Right.
Steph, what do you?
And then
what do you?
And
quickly
it had a very low Bush score for me. So
Here we go.
I think that's been the.
I think everyone needs a horror movie.
I think that's been the standard since the 70s. The low Bush ratio.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give this
some really nasty 4K Bush. Get this this thriller movie 4K. You'll get all the 70s Bush in 4K you ever want to see. Go ahead.
Steph, what do you guys
heard the man? I'm gonna give it a 3.69. Once again, I give a lot of respect to a movie that's not particularly something. When you guys were telling me about it, and I was reading up about it, I was like, I'll watch it. It doesn't really. Like Fable said, once I started watching it, I wanted to see this journey play out. It was cool to see her characters fall from grace, if you will. And it just really surprised me. A few scenes, like a 4. This is a movie I would recommend to everyone, but a 4 is just something I'm like, oh yeah, you got to see that. You got to see it. 5 is a perfect movie. Everyone's got to see it once. A 4 is something I would be like, it's definitely worth a check out, even if it's not your type of movie. This is almost there, but like we've been saying, a few more scenes fleshing out subplots, establishing a little bit more rapport between characters or something would have gone a long way. Been a solid 4, maybe even higher. But this is a very good movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. It's not what you think. I've never seen a movie like this. It was interesting. I appreciate interesting movies. So 3.69.
Yeah.
Nice.
3.69, you said, Steph?
Yeah.
Okay. Robbie, what do you think, my brother?
Man, I really fucking like this movie. Like, I like this movie so much that as soon as it was over, I was like, I'm watching this one again, like during Horror Fest. Like, I'm in love with this fucking movie. Like, I'm obsessed with it in a way. Like, it doesn't all thread together though, right? Like, so there is the elements of the third act being quite anemic, right? And not having connective tissue. However, everything that's there, I wouldn't trade for anything. I just want more. Right? Like I want 10, 15 more minutes in this movie. I want the detective to be finding out about the doll lady and talking to her husband. And maybe we find out a little bit more that her husband is like not fucking cool with it. And
I wanted to know more about Betty Boop. I wanted to know more about Betty Boop. Betty
there's
Boop
just
very interesting.
certain threads that could go, but the way that, and I love the ending. The tragic ending, like that's how it's like Jim Shooter walking up in the room to Frank Miller, like, bruh, she's got to die. She did this terrible. She's got to die. This is how you That's what it's the way that's the way the story is going, right?
Was Shooter?
I fucking loved it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steph.
No, was Shooter editor in chief when Gene died?
Yes.
Makes sense. Okay.
I think so. But he was editor in chief, during the Miller run, and he's the one that told Frank Miller, you got to kill Elektra because at Marvel, she's a killer. So there's got to be a consequence to that. This movie deals with those consequences, and it deals with those themes of isolation, connection, the body modification, being a woman going through a man's world, shit like that. Like not even James Brown was able to like fucking really get to the nuance of that. But I love this movie, man. I just feel like if they could have threaded that better and had that ending even have more of a fucking punch and not just so out of fucking nowhere, this would be one of my favorite movies. That being said, it does have that third act problem.
Viral, huh?
So I'm gonna go 4 slips / you dig. It's not a perfect movie, but man, if it just had a couple of those things, and here's the thing, the more I watch this film, the more I, as the viewer, am going to fill those gaps in myself.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I feel like this is going to be one of my absolute favorite fucking movies.
Endings are powerful, man.
Film. I love this movie. It was powerful to me, man. It touched me. Like I felt Mary in here, not the way we want to, but I felt like I understood what was going on. And I really, really, I latched on to this fucking movie. Dude, I'm upset.
That's not a bad indictment on this movie, because I think all of us are kind of saying the same thing. We wanted more. We wanted this twisted tale a little more fleshed out, a little more bite to it in certain areas. And if they would have, oh man.
And I've listened to that "I Want Your Body" song like fucking 80 times this fucking week.
I started bobbing my head when the surgeon started dancing.
I want your body. No. I love that song.
It's a good song, man.
That's the best song in it, dude. The music, really, that's the big.
The music's a week too.
It up a little bit too, because you put some good music in this, that could really get you in the zone for her.
A lot of
vibe of her. You know what I mean? Like
it needs a distinctive theme and not just the Ave Maria thing, which they use, and I love the way they use it. But this just like when I think I don't know if anybody scored music for this because it all feels like it's just fucking. Just
random
tracks. What do they call it? I can't remember fucking now. Like just like in the library,
I think so. I think it says Peter Allen is the composer, I think.
Okay. But all that stuff is just like shit you would hear in a Resident Evil game or Silent Hill or some shit like that. It's just there's video game horror movie music, and that's where it gets to. But the original, like the soundtrack the songs they pick are fucking awesome. So I don't know. I'm getting 4 though. I love the fuck out of this movie.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Fuck yeah.
4.069. How about that?
Okay. This is one. So Robbie, I have seen this movie probably 10 plus times. This is one. I have a love for American Psycho. So is my girlfriend. Weirdly, she fucking loves that movie. And this movie is kind of right there with that. Like I can throw this on when I'm watching that. They're similar in ways and completely different, but I fucking love this movie, and I fill in some of those blanks, and I just, I don't have it. I really didn't see as many of those issues until you guys threw them out, and a lot of times that does happen where, to me, like, it doesn't ruin the movie, like my rating or anything, but then sometimes you guys will just point something out that, like, I'm kind of blind to,
I had to reflect, like, usually I'll take notes, but I was so into the movie, like I didn't reflect until afterward.
That's how I get sometimes.
What I like more,
And sometimes like there might not be reviews really for this, or I might just not really going into it. Like I said, I never got to watch any of the making of, so I didn't get to hear what the directors are thinking.
And there's not a lot of content out there about it. Like if you look on YouTube or shit, there's barely any. Like none of the big guys have talked about this movie. They need to.
And this is one, man, that I have brought myself back to rewatch this quite a few times, I feel like, because I haven't known about it that long. I'd say I've known about it for maybe 5 to 6 years, and I've gone back and watched this quite a few times, man. To say if I've only known about this for like 6 years, and if I've watched it 10 plus times, that's pretty good. That's why, I enjoy this, man. And I'm going to give it a 4 all day.
Nice.
If the few things were fixed, obviously I know that it can be a better film. I just don't always look at things as flaws. I kind of just think it's like, oh, this could have been better. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
dude, this just is a great fucking film. It's very unique. The underground world, the body piercings and all that. It's just you never seen anything like that. I applaud them for that. The Soska sisters kind of being the like big, what is it, procedure that she ends up doing, like this is like her big one. I like that, because I knew that was the Soska sisters. I know you guys probably didn't know that was them. They don't really they do look like that, but without the modifications, I don't think they have any of that. Like their teeth don't look like that.
I was gonna ask you that. Do they really look like those girls?
No, I think
like
they had a
women?
lot of those modifications added, but yeah, they don't.
Well, they might be Russian or something. I'm not sure.
They don't have an accent like that though. They could be Russian, but
I think they're Canadian. I believe. I could be wrong, but I think it's all.
Canadian. No, have they done anything since that? What have they done since this?
Oh, I looked them up. They actually have quite. Let's see.
Yeah, not piercings. I meant to say, what is it? What are they called?
So their first movie I've heard about is they got those like threads in their back, which is like kind of I think that's kind of sexy, but at the same time it's kind of fucked up. So I don't know. Their first movie was Dead Hooker in a Trunk. Their first movie is Dead Hooker in a Trunk. People really like that.
And they directed. And that's really low quality. I've watched it before.
Well, it's their film school thesis or whatever. It's their final. Yeah. So then they did American Mary, The ABCs of Death Part 2, See No Evil Part 2, Vendetta. Their latest movie was a remake of Cronenberg's Rabid.
Yeah, which is actually kind of good, but it's different. It's different. It's not as good, but it's worth watching.
It's got CM Punk in it. It's got CM Punk in it?
Yeah.
No way.
Jesus. And that was in 2019 is when that was released.
Not in it that long, I don't think. It's there's some scenes with this girl like in her mouth, like because she gets like this crazy like accident, and then like her mouth is all like she's like this gorgeous woman, and she gets in this accident, and her mouth is just like it's fucking insane. Like it's worth checking out.
Yeah, if they do like a Tales of the Crypt or some sort of like twisted anthology series, I could see these women being the like showrunners for something like that.
Dude, I wish
this is the stuff they coming up with.
Man, John Cassidy, still alive, said that he would be down to voice it again. Like it's just
because it seems like they need to be edited. And once they're edited, they can give you something like
Oh, they've written comics too. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, I think
they wrote a Night Nurse story in Secret Wars Journal number 5 in 2015. They did
a story called
they did a short story called The Ripley for Guardians of the Galaxy. They did a Deadpool story for the Avengers Halloween special.
They did a mini series for Black Widow a couple years ago.
And allegedly they were doing a mini series.
Wait, dude, I remember when that was coming out. I think I know Fable probably owns it actually.
Oh, they were on the latest DC round robin. They were on they were on last year's DC round robin, but they didn't win. So
which one are you talking about?
I don't know. There's a Black Widow series that came out like 2 years ago.
It's like called, I think 2019, right before the
Seeing Red.
Yep.
No, I don't have that one.
What's it?
You don't have that? You know what I'm talking about?
It was short-lived.
Yeah.
Damn, that's.
Really actually, I wish I would have thought to invite him. But do you remember Trinity from Second Street Marvel? Was it? You know what I'm talking about? Bald guy.
He does. I know what you're talking about.
He always talks about comics, but he loves the Soska sisters. Loves them. He's met them a bunch of times. He's a huge fan of them. I should have asked him to come on. He was fucking. I haven't talked to him in a minute since I was doing comic book stuff. But yeah, this was that cover for issue 1.
Yep. What was it?
I do have
that. Yeah, it's the 2019 miniseries.
Yeah. And then I think it had the R.I.P. Stan Lee on the issue 1 cover, even maybe.
Yeah, I do have that one actually.
I knew you did. I don't have that. And I was bummed
that series is getting a revisit.
They had written it.
Hell yeah. I'm going to go check it out.
And I was like,
just watch. Everybody's going to start sharing it on fucking Instagram. Throw your sets up Saturday. Soska sisters.
I'm not going to lie. This movie has made me be more aware of their projects going forward, though. Like I will keep an eye out for them.
No Evil 2, I really fucking enjoyed it.
Oh, they're on Eli Roth's history. They're on Eli Roth's History of Horror too. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and they started out as actors. Holy shit! They're extras in Josie and the Pussycats and Fantastic Four.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
They're definitely
we have to revisit Josie.
Definitely not people to sleep on because they're in the independent world. They're fucking huge horror fans. And,
I think
two twin sisters, man.
They should have directed the Black Widow movie.
That'd been sick.
That would have been so fucking badass.
They should have. You're not lying. And Marvel tried.
Then we would have been like Taskmaster's fucking dope, man. Anybody, by the way, just quick aside. Anybody else see the Thunderbolts line up and just go, meh?
Why do we have so many Captain America analogs on that shit, bro? You got Red Guardian, Winter Soldier, U.S. Agent, even Taskmaster can emulate some
technologies like Ghost on there.
What?
Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost was part of the Thunderbolts in Jeff Parker's run. When
was he?
Luke Cage was running in. Yeah.
It makes sense for any surviving Marvel villain to be in.
I thought we were gonna get Abomination.
Abomination, right?
There's no Red Hulk, so we need like a big guy.
Yeah, there's got to be more members that they're not revealing because if they put Baron or Zemo in that shit, they've completely dropped the ball. Who's got to be in that movie? I think he's a bit.
When you think of Thunderbolts, there are a few characters you think of. Zemo's one of them. Songbird, Moonstone. Like, I think Hawkeye and fucking Zemo should have been on that team. Like
Hawkeye would have been great.
That Bucky's like kind of shouldn't be on it because he's more good at this point.
Yeah, but they're going to put him in there. They're going to put him on there because U.S. Agent's there, and they're going to have that dynamic to fuck with.
And he was the leader of a Thunderbolts run like back in 2016. It was short lived, but it's like it happened in the comics. They can use that excuse. Like
we need Zemo and Hawkeye on that fucking shit. I'm cool with Yelena. Red Guardian, fine, but he's just going to be goofy. He's the fucking comedic relief, he's just the Ben Grimm. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. I was expecting more out of D23 today.
Hell yeah, dude. They fucking acting like they were saving a bunch of big shit for us. They fucking didn't.
And bruh, okay, horror show. Did y'all see the Werewolf by Night trailer? Yeah. Because I think that I think that looks so stupid.
What was it?
I don't know.
It was very. It reminded me of the Monsters trailer.
It had the Monsters vibe to it.
Yeah.
They were trying to recreate like these.
The Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
And Werewolf by Night is one of my favorite.
I can't tell if it's supposed to look shitty or because I know they're obviously going for like a universal monster.
They're super
but theirs seems like a very low budget
cinematography of that.
Well, I think they did it that way on purpose, but it looks like it's going to go too much into the comedy portion of it. And Werewolf by Night was never that. And I like to see Werewolf by Night should be tied in with Moon Knight and Doctor Strange. Those three characters with Werewolf.
Well,
it
might. This might
and
be like an
Morbius at some point.
They want to see if people are going to bite on it.
They showed Man-Thing in the clip, though. That was pretty dope.
That was cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought that was bold for Marvel to actually show a Disney Plus is actually going to have a giant-sized Man-Thing.
That's right.
Two Gun and Kirby both gave it 4s.
Zing.
So did Bobby. Sammy gave it a 3.5. And Sammy earlier said that his Blu-ray didn't have special features either, like ours.
Yeah, that's the biggest disappointment here. Is I really want to read this. I want because the commentary is supposed to be the sisters, Isabella and Tristan Risk. Yeah.
I'd say we got an average score of 3.69.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
And what do we got for next week?
That was a good watch. Really was.
Yeah.
Good watch.
Another Two Gun.
Which one is
pick? Alice, Sweet Alice, and this is one I've never seen. I know bits and pieces. I've seen clips. That's it. I don't really know anything about the movie. I just know what the mask looks like, and like it's like a girl in a yellow like raincoat, and then
is that Brooke Shields? Is that who's in that?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's on. I'm pretty sure that's on Shudder, right?
I'm gonna be watching this either tonight after the show or first thing tomorrow for a little matinee.
I'm excited to watch it because I've always heard people talk about it, including Eli Roth talks about this a lot.
Me too. And it's got a lot. I hear it has a lot of influences from Hitchcock. So I am.
But now, was that a TV movie or was that a theatrical movie? I thought it was a TV movie. I'm pretty sure that was a TV movie. No,
I think that's theatrical because it's pretty gory from some of the bits.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, we got some of the bits from it in the like the stabbing of the foot in the intro.
R-rated.
And all that kind of stuff.
R-rated TV movies.
No, there must be a theatrical movie. Yeah.
Anyone got anything for show and tell? And what are we reviewing this week on Rockin' Robbie's?
Oh man,
to continue Horror Fest. Dario Argento's Deep Red, is it?
Yes, it is Deep Red by Dario Argento, y'all. The
4K.
The Giallo to end all Jolly. I'm very excited to talk about this movie. We got a great lineup. So week 2 of Horror Fest is fantastic, but week 3 is going to be pretty dope too. So it's really cool when you think about Deep Red, 1975, and then on Saturday, Alice Sweet Alice, 1976. So cool how that worked out, man. So really
dude. You know, I try to do stuff like that every now and then.
Yes, and you can watch Deep Red for free on like Plex and other services. I would try to not watch it with commercials if I was you, but the movie is fucking awesome. So Scarpad's going to be joining us on that show. So
hell yeah, I'm excited to sit back and chill in the chat for once and listen to a review and hang out in the chat with the homies.
Well, we got space if you want to join us, Dylan, because I think Vern's out, but unless Fable might be watching it, I don't know, man.
I gotta watch it still. If I can snag it in there and watch it.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know if Fable's committed yet. So,
what was that?
Which one are we talking about here?
Deep Red.
Deep Red. Yeah. That's on Monday, right?
Yep, Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Time on PCP Movie Night, and the return of Back Chat is Monday night. So
nice. Oh, yeah.
I know people have been missing Back Chat, and for Horror Fest, we're bringing it back. So
I have a few things if nobody's ready.
Yeah.
I was lucky this week to pick this up. I've been looking for this one for a while.
Blow you up big real quick.
Blow me up, baby. Blow me up. I got my Hellraiser
boy.
Dude.
Ultimate Pinhead. I've been looking for this one for a while. Finally found
that black and white mummy today, man, or the other day. And so fucking bad.
So I'm glad I was able to pick that one up.
That figure is so awesome, dude.
Love the box. Love the figure. Really nice. So I was lucky. I was happy to find that. And also I picked up, I'm a big fan of British sci-fi. Jerry Anderson, who did Space 1999, Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, and one of my favorite shows from the 70s, UFO, and Big Finish, who does Doctor Who audio dramas along with Space 1999 and others. Just come out with a audio drama of UFO. So I picked that up. You can get that on Big Finish's website. I got the physical copy, but you can do a digital download. And this is a full new cast, old original characters. So it'll be interesting to see how they reimagine UFO. And let's see, for movies, I got a few things. I heard good things about this. I've never seen it. It's Italian. It's horror. Burial Ground. I don't know if anybody's seen this.
Burial Ground?
No.
I've heard of that, I think.
It's supposed to be really, really fucked up. This little kid in it, this little guy is like 29 years old. They cast a 29-year-old as a kid because of the things that he does in this movie. Plus,
I need to see the original poster.
Plus, I think there's incest stuff involved here.
I've seen that poster for sure. I don't know if I've seen the movie.
And it's got a reversible cover as well, which is...
that original poster art that on the other side I've seen.
So I've heard good things about this. I haven't watched it yet. I'm hoping to watch this tonight.
That's
but I heard good things. What's that?
Seven.
It's Seven. So there you go. Burial Ground. I didn't have enough. Fulci, so they had it on sale. Blue Underground had a sale, so I picked up in 4K. Zombie.
Nice.
Luis Fulci.
That's
also picked up
4K.
The New York Ripper, which I've never seen in 4K.
Nice.
Oh man, ain't nothing but like that toe scene.
So that might look good in 4K, I think.
I can't wait till you see the 80s toe bush scene.
And
I love it.
The House by the Cemetery.
Bob.
Pick those three up. Fill up my full sheet.
God damn it, Bob.
I've never seen this.
What about Bob?
I got this cheap. It looked interesting. Never seen it. The Craft. Anybody
want?
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 90s. No, that's
I feel like I'm the only 90s kid that doesn't like that movie.
It's got Ned Campbell in it, so I think I'd give it a shot.
Screen Factory has a Blu-ray and a 4K for that, but you probably got that cheap as fuck.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted
because you might not like that as much.
This is a Screen Factory. I heard Robbie mention this last week. I remembered I love this movie, and I want to watch this one on Halloween. Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
Nice.
Classic.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. I love that so much.
And Bruce Willis, so there won't be any more movies.
I watched that last year around Halloween too.
Give me a bad Zemeckis movie.
I picked up the Screen Factory last Halloween.
I realized I didn't
don't
have
exist.
this. Fill in my Stephen King's Thinner.
Yeah.
Which, I haven't seen in a long time.
I love that movie, man.
I don't think I like that cover, but it's interesting.
No, yeah.
Another Screen Factory just came out last year. Dracula Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Man, that's the only Mel Brooks film I don't like, man.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't like that movie. I tried it again this year, man. I just couldn't.
You don't like Renfro? Renfro's cool. And then this is a Best Buy Steelbook exclusive. 310 to Yuma. I really like this film. Good remake of an old Western with Zeus and Batman. And what the hell?
It's directed by Mangold, right?
Yes. And what the hell happened to James Russell Crowe, man? Oh my God.
Dude, he's Zeus and fucking I love him.
Zeus, baby. I like that cover. Good cover on that one.
Do you guys remember Romper Stomper? That's a fucking Russell Crowe fucking insane movie. That's a great.
Be invited to the orgy.
And then, of course, it just came out this week. 4K.
He had to do
it. Motion picture, baby.
Nice.
I saw this movie when I was 13 years old. My mom dropped me off. I took Rookie from school. I still love this. It's still one of my favorite Star Trek movies. Yeah. It's very 70s. It's very slow. It's not CGI filled and action filmed. But I feel it's probably the closest to a real theatrical movie before they got into more TV-ish type stuff. Yep. Star Trek 2 is the better film, but I still love Star Trek Motion Picture.
Missed opportunity to connect that to the board, man. They should have connected it to the board.
They did eventually in a book by William Shatner.
Yes.
Oh,
well, by his ghostwriter. So this comes. I wouldn't recommend. I bought this. I think I paid like $70 for this. I don't think it's worth the box set. I'd get the original. This comes with some cards. It does have a nice book in it that talks about the movie, and it does have. And I think I'm not sure, but this has the 4K director's cut. It's got the 4K theatrical cut, and it's also got the 4K TV cut, which had different stuff than either of those. I don't think the TV cut is on the regular 4K, just on this box set. I believe you have to check that out. So, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which you can
beautiful package, man. It's a beautiful cover.
Put that in the shelf, man. That thing is long.
Yeah, and
you put that at the top, man.
You put that at the top. Also, the last two that's come out with it. The final two movies that were in the original box set last year. My guilty pleasure. A lot of people hate this movie. I think it's the most like the show. Star Trek V.
I like Star Trek V, man.
Star Trek V, William Shatner's movie. Yes, there's lots of issues with it because the studio wouldn't give him enough money.
The horror gets down in that.
But I still think the interplay between the characters. This is the most like the TV show of all the movies. So it's a guilty pleasure. I like Star Trek.
I just remember being a kid being like, Spock's got a fucking brother?
Right?
God, in this movie?
Evidently he's got a sister too. So
he does. If we buy Michael, we got to buy, I don't even remember his name, but weird movie, man. I love the row your boat shit though, man. That's really good.
That's really good. And actually one of the better Nicholas Meyer films, Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country.
That's a good one right there. Hell yeah.
Really,
you haven't read
good.
Shakespeare till you've read it in the original Klingon.
Yeah, the original. Yeah. The last go around for the original.
Who was the name of that actor too?
That's Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer, yeah.
Yeah, Plummer. Oh man.
And Let's Slip the Dogs of War. A lot of good stuff.
That's a great fucking movie, man.
Yeah,
and I love to see.
That's the one that broke Ron Barry's heart, though, because the Federation are racists.
So, like, yeah, and it was. He didn't like it because it was pretty military, but it's still. I think it's a really good movie. So I enjoyed this one. So so now all the original Star Trek is out. I guess the next generation ones will probably come sometime next year. Although most of those are a mixed bag. So that's I think everything for me.
Nice.
That's everything.
Nice,
dude. Nice haul, dude. Those Star Trek 4Ks are cool. Fable, you want to go next?
No, I'm good, man. I'm skipping out today.
You skipping out today?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. Does Steph have anything? He keeps popping.
The only thing I didn't show because I
My
was
connection
too heavy to bring downstairs is I picked up the. I think it just came out last week. The No Man's Land omnibus from Batman.
Batman, nice. Greg Rucka and them.
I can't carry that up and down the cellar stairs without a hernia, so I didn't bring it.
Good pick on the 310 to Yuma. I love that film. James Mangold, Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, fucking Ben Foster.
That's one of the better remakes out there, especially
I
for
love that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Steph, did you have anything you want to show off?
Not this week. Next week.
No worries, my brother. No worries. Robbie, my brother.
Yeah. I got some things. So this movie was influenced, obviously, by Frankenstein. Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein. This is about American Mary, right? That's another reason why it's American Mary. It's because the British Mary is the one that wrote Frankenstein. Anyway, so Two Gun Pedro, thank you once again so much for this Blu-ray. People that made this Blu-ray, where are our special features? Fuck y'all. That sucks. Anyway, since this movie is heavily influenced by Frankenstein, I grabbed, when I could, I just grabbed some Frankenstein stuff that I had. I got way more than this, but I just want to show off some things. There's my original Frankenstein pop.
Nice.
Right? Yeah. There's the Bride of Frankenstein pop.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the second Frankenstein pop they did. It has a little flower. All right. That's nice.
Oh, nice.
There is a little Funko Mystery Mini Frankenstein I got. There you go. The NECA Frankenstein action figure, which is absolutely fucking amazing.
Oh, shit.
This figure is so freaking good. And the box is great. Look, it's just right next to Ghostface. It just looks perfect. Back in the day, some of my favorite Happy Meal toys are those Halloween McNugget buddies. And there's the Frankenstein one right there.
Nice.
That was a good one.
I love that one so much.
I used to have a McNugget buggy, but he left.
Yeah, to round out the toy, you got to keep that nugget rolling, man.
Gotta have some.
There's my Michelangelo Frankenstein that they did.
Fire.
I got the Raphael Frankenstein over there, but I haven't opened it. But I will open that tomorrow night on Rock and Robbie Live, which is at a special time, 5 p.m. Central. Because the Cowboys are back, man. The boys are back, so let's see what happens. Really love this one. That's April is the Bride of Frankenstein. I got this one on card.
Oh shit.
Dope.
That's dope. All right. Here's the very first copy of Frankenstein I ever owned. This is back when books were $4, y'all. Like you get a paperback for $4. So there it is right there. And then I, of course, have gotten the Bernie Wrightson illustrated one.
Nice.
Which is the best way. Marvel did a Monster of Frankenstein comic book. I got the essential version of it, which is just clean black and white. Yeah. Look at that artwork, man. This is good stuff. You got John Buscema, Mike Plug. Dude, you got some really great art in there. Continuing this Frankenstein nonsense. Here are my Frankenstein movies. I don't have as many as I want to have, but of course I got the original Universal collection right there. Gotta have that. Got Curse of Frankenstein, right? From Hammer. Speaking of Hammer, got Evil of Frankenstein with the slip and reversible cover.
Slip.
And I got Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. So there's still a few Frankenstein Hammer films I need to get. And shouts out to a friend of ours who just recently helped create Life. Verno just had a beautiful baby girl apparently. And Verno sent me some VHSs. Now, he showed some that he was going to send me last week, but here's another batch that he sent me that he didn't talk about. We got Wayne's World 2.
Wayne's World.
Nice.
Party time.
We got The Crow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
These are nice, man.
Brandon
We
Lee
got
classic.
Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
The
I had that
second greatest
exact
psychological
VHS.
thriller.
Besides Poltergeist?
The third greatest psychological thriller of the 90s, because the second best is probably this one right here, Seven.
Ooh. Okay.
Love that movie. So Vern's the shit. Also, since it's not on Blu-ray,
True Lies.
at least I got it.
Wow, that's not on Blu-ray?
It's not on Blu-ray, man.
Nope.
Not on Blu-ray.
Wow.
And
Supposed to get a 4K though.
the final one
Okay.
to show off tonight is one that me and Dylan covered last year for Horror Fest. Bruh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
I fucking would review that shit again. It's so good.
I know. So that's what I got this week. A lot of Frankenstein shit, some awesome VHSs. So the best to Vern, to his lady, and to their new baby girl.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Madison with a Y, but not where you expected.
Hell yeah.
Is it with the Y?
No.
Oh, okay. That went over my head.
Man, I had to go.
So with an eye exactly where you would expect it.
Okay. Splash.
I don't got much, but randomly, man, I had to get like a charger.
Dope shirt, by the way, my brother. Dope shirt.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, Pinhead, yes,
Shout
sir.
out to Gun, bro. But I had to stop and get a cheap ass charger and I went to the dollar store or Dollar Tree, and I always want to check because I always hear these movie hunter guys say you can find like some decent DVDs and Blu-rays sometimes for $1, you know. And a lot of times they're horror fans, so they'll find a couple, not always good shit. Sometimes it's just random, but found a couple movies. First one, Monster Party. What really drew me, it's from the producer of Sinister, and you get the chick who plays Starlight and The Boys in this. Those are the two things that drew me to it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have got it even for $1. But it does have the slippity slip.
It's not bad.
Shutter original, also with the slip, Monsters, which I think this is like this is a Japanese horror film.
Dollar Tree seems to get a lot of the Shudder original movies somehow.
Yeah, they do. I think they do sometimes, like the ones that you don't really hear about, at least. Yeah. But some people were saying this was pretty good on reviews, so I was like, for $1,
that looks like a dope cover.
Check it out.
Did you say that you went to the Dollar Tree to buy a phone charger?
No, I needed to get a charger. I didn't need a phone charger. I just needed a charger.
Like a Dodge Charger?
What kind of charger?
It's a charging cord, but it's not
San
for my
Diego
phone.
Charger? What's going on?
Dude, I needed a charging cord. What the fuck?
What are you trying to charge?
Like I said, it wasn't for my phone. Like it could be for one of my batteries. Like Jesus Christ.
I just love how heated you got over that. That's hilarious.
Y'all got a question.
I'm just asking.
I'm just saying my fucking business. I need a goddamn charger.
What do you need a charger for?
Chump.
Hold on. I consider Dale because who the fuck's Dale? I consider if you use a Dollar Tree charger on like any kind of vape shit, you can blow your face out.
He doesn't need it for his phone or vape, man. Come on, bro. Why are you fucking? Come on, man.
It really wouldn't even matter. And like I said, it was my battery pack.
All right, man.
Dude, a charger.
I want to see.
Manny, we're gonna need you to clip out Dylan getting fucking hurt over this charger shit. We're gonna need you to clip this out, Manny. Come on.
The Raven. James McTee.
The Raven, which is actually like
no slip. I hope that was only 80 cents.
I know, right?
Does John Cusack still make movies? When did that come out?
Dude, this is
2012, 13.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, where the fuck has he been?
This isn't horror, but I fucking love Anton Yelchin and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I was just talking about that movie the other day, bro. That was like
a good movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I had it. I wish it was a Blu-ray, but fuck it. I would.
Robert Downey Jr. That came out right before his Big Bang. That came out in 08 too.
I fucking love Anton Yelchin. So it's way too simple.
Yes, sir.
That Fright Night remake's way better than it has any.
Colin Farrell, bro.
Way better than it should be.
I've never seen the remake.
Did you guys cover that?
Dude, he's one of my favorites in Alpha Dog. I love.
Yeah, he stole Alpha Dog, bro.
Dude, stole it, made like. dude, he hits your heartstrings every time when I watch that movie, bro.
How-
That's
how
based
is-
on a
how
true
is he,
story.
How is he with that movie with Patrick Stewart, The Green Room? I see that all the time. I've never watched
I
that.
don't know. We're
What
gonna
is it?
find out though,
Yeah.
because apparently it's gonna win.
Bro,
the
that's a
PCP
great
poll.
movie.
It's win into the PCP Horror Fest poll. So
Oh,
Green
did it?
Room, or was it Green
Yeah,
Inferno?
No,
No,
Green Room, I think.
no, Green Inferno is the Eli Roth film.
We
Okay,
Hmm.
Green Room's amazing.
Oh, no, we talked
That-
about that when we did Eli Roth thing, Spotlight. And then Josh Hartnett's Wicker Park. I think this is just like a
Ooh.
thriller, but it has Matthew Lillard and Rose Byrne, and so I figured that would be
That's a good one.
cool.
That's an incredibly 90s font that they use there. It's the same font that
Yeah.
Coolio used for
Oh
Gangsta's
yeah, when I
Paradise.
saw that, I wasn't gonna get it, but when I saw Josh
Gangsta's
Hartnett, 'cause
Paradise.
I do.
He's
believe
underrated,
I do-
Josh
I do
Hartnett.
like Josh Hartnett, man. He was
Yeah.
dope in the '90s, bro.
He was in The
Like,
Faculty,
oh,
right?
shit.
They offered him Batman Begins, and he turned that down because he didn't want to be typecast.
Because he didn't want to comb his hair, I heard.
Oh, hey Dylan. By
That
the way,
makes sense.
I just want to let you know, Dylan. Dylan, do you like prime rib?
What?
Do you like steak, prime rib?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a hell of a prime rib at Dollar Tree. They're about $1 each.
I thought this was going to be like if he's not.
I thought, yeah, right.
I thought you had money, Scarfhead. You scrounging up for that, bro?
I'm gonna send you some Dollar Tree prime ribs, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. You ever go to Waffle House at 2 a.m. with? You ever go to Waffle House?
Joe Keery's
Oh, dude, Steve's in there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
The
Is that a movie?
too. That's why I had to pick it because I
Slip?
love Steve. Yeah, for $1. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's probably not the greatest. It's probably okay.
Yo, it's crazy because I did not like his character in the season 1. Like I mean, maybe that's the role he's playing, but he's one of my favorites now.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, dude, for $1, I'll support it because
They were gonna kill him in the season 1. They were gonna
And
kill him
really?
in season 1, but he was
Once again,
so good.
shout out to Gun for the review and for the copy of American Mary. So glad to have this in my collection now. And for what we're reviewing next week, Sweet Alice. Two Gun also said if you want to check this out and you don't have the money to buy a copy,
YouTube?
or if you don't want to
It's
rent
on
it,
Shudder,
it's
I
on
believe.
YouTube for free.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
So
I think
you
it's
can
on
check
Shudder,
out
too.
Sweet Alice on YouTube. And
on
last
Shudder,
but
too.
not least, I got
Dog Soldiers.
Soldier.
Yes,
4K
sir.
Dog Soldiers. There is no point in getting the Blu-ray because the Blu-ray here has a terrible scan, and this one is gorgeous from what everyone says. So I am so fucking hyped to check this out, which we will be reviewing this for Horror Fest as well. Can't have a Horror Fest without a werewolf movie on the list. That's for damn sure. And that's all I got. Oh wait, I think I can't remember if I showed this off last week. I think I did. I haven't opened it yet, but I did grab this from Spirit Halloween.
Nice.
Is that a fleece blanket?
Like yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Dude, that's
dope.
cool.
Yo.
I love this one, dude. It's so cool. I love like the orange looks really good on it with the
Yeah,
black.
I gotta get to a spirit, man. See if I can get
Dude,
one.
and make sure you
Dylan,
ask them. Make sure you tell them to give you that 20% off. It's like 20 or 25%
You're gonna have us
off
getting
from
horror
store.
themed covers now.
Not even that, dude. That
Dylan.
that was just just.
But
'cause
that's
I-
that's
you
a
just
good
started
one
the
to like.
trend, bro.
blanket to
You
use.
started the trend, bro.
That's a
I'm gonna
good
get
like
my
couch
Hellraiser cover
blanket.
soon.
That's a good
Hell
couch
yeah.
blanket for when you're watching
They
horror
might have
films.
had, dude. They had
Hell yeah.
Chucky, they had Freddy, they had a bunch of fucking fleeces, bro. But I had to go with that one, bro. That was the coolest to me. There was so much shit I wanted. Like they had a Killer
Yeah.
Clowns cup I wanted.
Yeah, you
Dude,
got to
they
get the
didn't
movie
have it
where
at mine, but they had the cotton candy gun at Scar Pads. He sent me a picture.
Yeah,
I can never find the cotton candy gun
I
anywhere.
didn't see that when I went down.
The fucking you sent me a picture of it, but
I did.
they're hard to see, bro. They're hard to get for some reason. They're
I
probably
went in there, I asked the guy, I said, "Do I get the 20% discount from Dylan's Horror Show?" And he said to me, "Who the fuck's Dylan?"
Oh yeah, you can.
And I said, "Dylan,
Did I ever say Dylan's Horror Show? I said after the 20% discount that they're giving out.
yo, let me
But
get
then-
that
but
Dylan's
then-
horror show discount, bro.
Who
I
the
think the only
fuck
place
is
they give-
Dylan?
I'm pretty sure that's the only
Forget to
place they
use
give
that.
that Dylan's Horror Show discount is the Dollar Tree, man.
He's like, the only Dylan I know is chilling with Dylan. Chilling with Dylan. Chill with Dylan.
What's he saying? Open what ups? Two gun.
I want you to open the blanket
The
up.
blanket. Oh yeah, I'm gonna, man. I just been worried. I didn't want to get.
It's nice to get the
I didn't
blanket
wanna
of the movie where Michael like has sex with his niece and produces a baby.
Bro, shut up.
What
Why you
movie
gotta
was
ruin it?
I mean, that's what happens in the movie, bro. I didn't do that. I didn't make the movie.
Bro, it depends what fucking cut we're talking about.
Call fucking Paul Rudd and ask him what the fuck is up.
Bro, it entirely depends on what cut we're talking about. So some people might not even know about that shit, bro. You just totally spoiled it.
I'm sorry I spoiled the producer's cut for people. I don't understand.
But hell yeah, man. I am super hyped for next week. It's not many times when we get to see something that I've never seen before. So Alice, Sweet Alice, this is gonna be a fun one. Thank you once again from Two Gun Pedro. If you guys enjoyed American Mary, make sure you give Two Gun Pedro a shout out. This was his recommendation. And I hope you guys are able to check out Alice, Sweet Alice on YouTube or however you're able to check it out, you know. But I guarantee it's going to be worth it. What up, Big Arm? Anyone got anything they want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Rock and Robbie live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time, a special time because the Moys are back and they're playing Tom Brady and the Bucks, and I got to watch that. I don't want y'all to see me cry or whip my dick out in excitement. I don't know. So, like, we're going to do it a little bit earlier. What? I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, and then PCP movie night. Join us for the continuation of Horror Fest. Deep Red, Argento. Come on, y'all. We can't have a Horror Fest without a werewolf film or an Argento film now. So there we go.
And I'll be on the Argento, first time watching Deep Red, so I hope that's good. And I'll be with Robbie on Monday night. Tomorrow I'll be watching Tom Brady's replacement, hopefully kick the Miami Dolphins' ass in the afternoon. And other than that, that's about it. I think I'm going to be hitting up Dollar Tree for some car parts. They'll probably need late in the afternoon.
All right, I
I'm gonna go get a charger.
I thought you were going for some ribs.
I'm gonna get a charger for my generator.
Might go get a no, if I hear next week,
dude, if you needed
that you've set fire to yourself
because freaking stupid USB charger, why would I go spend $10 when I could get it for $1?
Because those explode, Dylan. They make them
explode.
They're made by children in Indonesia.
I've never once had a USB cable explode.
And you will go up like the biggest thing.
What's going to explode?
It'll be a conflagration of epic proportion. I don't want to hear about that, Dylan. I want to see you burn, man.
See the USB cable explode.
Make sure.
What is this? Fucking Inspector Gadget? Mr. Mission Impossible?
Buy the thing on Amazon or something. For God's
as soon as you unplug this charger, it will explode in 5 seconds.
I'm gonna send you some cables. Dylan.
Yeah, no shit. Dylan's about to get like 8 fucking chargers from Scarpad, like heavy duty $20 chargers.
Gold plated.
Dylan's gonna take a shit on them, man.
Man, send them, bro. I'll use them.
You're gonna take the first pump.
I don't need any chargers.
If
you got any of the outlet boxes, because nobody ever gives you the box anymore. They just give you the cord. They don't give you the box. Like, what the fuck is up with that?
I got a shit ton of cords and no boxes, dog.
Most people have the boxes but no cords. So, what can you do? But Dylan, try not to burn yourself, man. That's all I say. Don't go to Dollar Tree for cords.
Bro, I got a couple blue DVDs out of it, bro. It all worked out.
Well, the DVDs, I think, will not explode, but I'm not too sure about those cords.
Those might explode. That's more of a chance than this fucking piece of shit cable cord.
That's right, baby. Look, see this cable? I don't know where the fuck I got it, but I can tell you I didn't get it at the Dollar Tree.
And it looks like shit still.
You got it at the gas station. Come on now.
6 inches long, bro. Come on, man. What are you gonna do with that?
The Dollar Tree than the fucking gas station because you're paying $20 for the same shit that I just paid $1 for.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's got to go.
In order to get the charger box, though, you got to go to Five Below. They don't have that.
Yeah.
At the Dollar.
Oh no, man! Don't go to fucking Five Below either.
Nah,
oh my
dude,
God.
The Dollar Tree might have had a couple boxes, dog. I think they had a couple.
All right.
Y'all make sure you have a great night. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I hope you guys are able to check out Alice, Sweet Alice. If not, by renting it, check it out on YouTube for free. We will see you guys next week. Horror Fest never ends, baby. Never. We will see you guys. Peace out.
Peace.